It's time to break the pattern in which you set goals during New Year's Eve and then you completely forget about them in the next week because the excitement wears off. Because no, this is not what we are doing in 2026. We leave that energy long ago in 2025 and we start fresh and we force 2026 to become our absolute best year yet. And this is how you do it. You can't really set any sort of goals and actually achieve them without having the most foundational skill, which is discipline. And this is something that I've been talking about for the longest time on all of my platforms because this is something that truly changed my life. Me at the start of 2025 and me now at the start of 2026, completely two different people. Like, I don't know that version of me anymore. I don't know who she was, but she's gone. But I was only able to achieve such drastic difference in such a small amount of time because of discipline and because of building lasting discipline, because of understanding that discipline is a foundation to how I show up for everything in my life. And a lot of people think that New Year's is the time to build that discipline, but December is actually a perfect time to start because when you get into New Year's, you are already naturally moving in that disciplined way. You're basically continuing what you've been building in the past month. So that's why I want to talk about how important it is to build discipline now rather than wait until New Year's Eve. And because we want to force 2026 to become our best year yet, we need to literally make it happen ourselves because no one else will come and do that for us. The year will not just magically turn perfect and amazing. We have to make it happen. If you don't realize this, then you need to revisit your mindset and everything that is blocking you from believing that, because discipline is action and a skill, but also a mindset. And you have to understand that your vision, your long-term plan is more important than your short-term pleasures. And when you start building that discipline now, you will know by the time New Year's Eve comes what already works for you. You will know what kind of routines you can easily do, what you can adapt. You will have so much more data as opposed to someone that is starting from scratch. And like I said, New Year's Eve is this time where the energy is really exciting. And I also fall for this myself, like everybody does, because it is just this big thing. It's a new year, it's new me, fresh starts and all of that. But as soon as that initial excitement wears off, we forget about everything that we've set and we kind of come back to the good old times when we don't care about our goals. And this is not something that we do in this corner of the internet. I personally used to do that for the longest time and I wasted so many years that I could have spent in a way that would build and pave the way to success. Remember how I told you at the beginning of 2025, I was a completely different person. I was literally bed rotting all the time. I was victimizing myself. I was telling myself that I don't have time, or, I don't have resources. I don't have the money. I was literally coming up with tons of excuses instead of actually taking action. And around March time, February, this is when I started changing my life. But I could have done that literally 2 years ago. So that's why I'm telling you, discipline is such an important skill and you will not regret building it. Discipline is the highest form of self-love, and discipline is something that you define for yourself. So my version of discipline might be different to yours, and that is okay. That is normal, and it just works that way because we all have a different kind of energies, we have different routines, schedules, circumstances. So it's absolutely normal to define your discipline the way it works for you. So for example, for me, discipline is showing up every single day for some sort of a goal that I have. But for someone else, it might be just showing up once a week. Maybe it might be even just, I don't know, building a mindset. The only thing to keep in mind though is that discipline is a way of committing to your goals, and it is a way of showing up for your goals. It's being consistent. It's choosing your long-term plan over your current mood. And it honestly goes way deeper than that because it is about building a whole new identity. Like I said, I don't recognize the person that I was at the start of 2025, and I likely will not recognize the person I am now at the start of 2027. I know that because of building that discipline and commitment, I can now achieve things that literally 2 years ago seemed impossible, but now I know that I've built the foundation throughout the whole year. So 2026 just feels like it's going to be absolutely incredible. Mark my words. Listen, I know that all of us save those Pinterest boards that say, follow your plan, not your mood. So how about we actually do that this time? And listen, you can make discipline aesthetic. It doesn't have to be strict. It doesn't have to sound or feel like a punishment, because it's not. Like I said, it's the highest form of self-love, so you can romanticize it as much as you want. You can literally make it so cute and so feminine, so girly and aesthetic, that you will literally love showing up for yourself. And for me, the way I built my discipline from scratch, and I used to be a very lazy person, was through introducing tiny habits every single week. So for example, instead of starting working out every single day when I began my weight loss journey, I instead decided to just introduce yoga in the morning every other day, and then I started adding on top of that, because I was a person, and I still am, that I'm not really into gym, I'm not into doing heavy workouts and stuff like that. So for me, it is really important about finding what works for me. But when I actually decided to do it my way, it worked. I lost 30 kg. And all of this started with just one small habit. So instead of trying to force a whole routine all at once, you will avoid burnout by stepping back and starting very, very small. And listen, all of this that I just said, if you implement it, you are doing your future self a favor, because you are going to set yourself up and you're gonna give yourself a head start when 2026 comes. It will be so much easier as well to break down your goals and actually set them in a way that is sustainable and achievable, because you will already know how to work around those things. You will have some proof already that you can commit to goals. And one little thing that I want to give in this video, I'm not gonna go into much detail, but when you set your goals, just make sure that they are doable and you can actually see yourself achieving them in the next 6 months or a year. Setting goals for the next 5 years is great, but it is overwhelming, and you're not going to be the same person in the next year. So exactly how you build discipline, also do the same with your goals and start small. I hope that this video gave you some reassurance, or maybe some path, some guidance. If it did, then make sure to let me know in the comments, but also make sure to subscribe and also follow my other socials, which will be linked down below, as well as my podcast, which recently launched, called Main Character Frequency, which I am also going to link in the description and in the comment below. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.